Welcome back to Dagryffyn Hobby. My name's Dave. In this video, we're going to take a look at this automatic soldering gun. I have been wanting to test out this automatic feeding soldering gun for quite some time. I had seen some on the internet, probably in, random targeted ads, that sort of thing. And then a couple people online had talked about them, and I figured, well, soldering is not my favorite thing. If I can find something that helps a little bit, might as well give it a shot. So this is a no-name one off of Amazon. Newacalox? I have no idea. Newacalox. So this is the kit. Comes with whatever this is. Comes with solder, this thingamajig, the soldering gun, which feels pretty flimsy, a pair of tweezers, and the roller for the solder. Let's see if there are any directions. The soldering gun is a good helper for some meticulous work. You can solder by one hand. It's perfect for electronics, circuit board repair, home, DIY, hobbyist, jewelry soldering. You need practice how to use it more, then you will become... What? You need practice how to use it more, then you will become more skilled on operation. The soldering iron tips adopt 900M series tips. The soldering wire diameter is 1 millimeter. Hope you will enjoy it. It is normal to smoke when you first use the soldering gun. The fumes come from the soldering flux and will disappear the next time you use it. Screw and a nut on this. Some sort of quick release would be better. Maybe better versions have that. I do not know. That goes on that way. So you want to feed the solder that way. I mean, a wing nut would be a little easier than just this nut, but hey, whatever. That's all set up. I'm gonna just nip the tip, and let's see what the directions say. Press and hold the tin entrance, and then put into solder wire clockwise. That doesn't make any sense. I guess they're looking at it from this way, clockwise. Pull the trigger to feed out the solder, so every click forwards the solder maybe a millimeter or so. And if it gets tangled, you want to release, press that in, and you can roll it back. So I didn't need to nip the tip. That's good to know. Apparently there's a video somewhere on the items page. The work temperature of the tip an iron pipe is up to 450 degrees, so don't lick it. Keep away from flammable, explosive situations. Well, I'm always in an explosive situation, but this stuff's flammable, so maybe I'll move it. Please do not repair or disassemble it by yourself. Wait, I skipped. Please keep it away from the damp place and kids. That is a very strange... You gotta love these Google Translates here. When finished, turn off the power, wait for it to cool down, and then put it away. And again, don't lick it. They don't mention this door. They probably don't want you to open it. Okay, you get a little look at how it feeds the solder. The switch is up there. Pretty basic. The gun itself is kind of light. It feels like it could use a little bit of weight because all the weight's kind of at the back with the cord and the solder roll, so it's delicate. Work might be a little on the tough side. Let's heat it up and see what happens. I do like that it has an on-off switch, but some sort of light indicating that it was on would be fantastic. That's a major safety flaw as far as I'm concerned. This is actually a pretty decent pair of tweezers. I need to do some wiring for the upper loops, so I got this piece of track and some wire. You may be wondering what gauge this wire is. I am also wondering. I have no idea. This is just old speaker wire that I had laying around. big fan of reusing stuff. It's got to be 16, 14. I don't really know. So I prepped the bottom of the track pieces with a little 800 grit. Well, it certainly smells like it's heating up. Now comes the question, is the white line power or ground? So right off the bat, I would say this isn't getting used for anything delicate. And it works. Look at that. That's great. Those are nice and tinned and ready to go. So that worked nice, but it certainly doesn't feel like I'd be able to do anything delicate with it. It might end up being really good for track. I'm going to go with the line is ground. Okay, so with a little practice, like everything else, it might be okay. Okay, a little bit of a slow start there, but that actually did a pretty decent job soldering it to the rail. Turn it off so I don't set myself on fire. Okay, so first test using this, soldering something like track, I like it. I like it a lot because I was able to just feed a whole bunch of solder into the bottom of the track and then onto the wires as I was holding them in place. It made that a lot easier than trying to do that with the solder in one hand, the gun in the other, trying to hold the track and the wire. So that test, I'm going to say flying colors. So this is for the upper loop. I took this piece down. I prepped the surface here again with that 800. In case you're wondering, yes, the wire is very warm. Ooh. So if you don't heat the track up enough before you try to solder it, you get all these flakes that cool too quickly. The new Akalox soldering iron gun, self-feeding variety. So a couple of thoughts after using it, well, twice. Construction, I feel I could use a little bit more heft. I wish there was an indicator light to indicate that it was on. Other than that, so far with the two projects I've done, which is soldering wire to track, it does just fine. One thought after using it on this track is that I feel like I'm going to go through this solder super quick because it's just so easy to just keep dumping it in there, which is fine for something like this where I wanted a lot in there to get down in between the rails and around through all the wire and all that. But I think it's probably going to go a lot quicker than it would with a manual feed. Did it make this task easier? Yes, 100%. It made soldering wire to this track a lot easier. Having the self-feeder to do this project, fantastic. I don't think I would use it on any sort of delicate equipment, definitely not electrical boards or anything like that. Not that I solder a lot of those anyway, but for basic stuff like track, I think this is going to work fantastically. Do I like it? Was it worth the money? So far, yes. So if you have a bunch of track you want to solder, I say give one of these a shot. If you've used one of these, let me know what you think. Let me know what kind of projects you've used it on, and if it worked for you. So this is a vacuum, but suck up old solder, I guess. I've never used one. I'm not really sure how I would use one, but I will have to try it out at some point. Let's say you want to either replace the solder or just remove it. You press down here, and then you can roll the solder out. Pop the whole thing off the back. You can adjust the length and the position of the pipe that carries the solder, so that's good. That could definitely help if you want it to be in front a little bit, behind, to the side. The way it was when I was using it was kind of here. It was feeding it into the side of it, but that worked really well for the track. For a more delicate thing, maybe I'd try to move it forward, be a little closer, but I still don't feel like I'd be able to do delicate work with it. I guess it's good to know that it comes apart like this in case you want to take it apart and clean it up a little bit. Now that I've moved this kind of inadvertently, I want to make sure it lines up. So I'll put that pipe back in and make sure it lines up with the feed hole, and then tighten it down. So you definitely want that to line up, otherwise I'm pretty sure it would kink when you're trying to feed it. And I'll put this part back on and tighten it down. Now, I wouldn't tighten that very much. I believe that center piece that's in there is ceramic. You crack that and it'll be broken, obviously. Okay, next time I solder something with this, I'll play with the adjustment of where this lands and see how that affects it. The solder gets caught. Again, you push this in and try to pull it out the back. If it's really jammed, you could open this door and take a look at those gears inside. To feed it back through, you insert it until it stops, and then just pull the trigger a few times until it comes out the front. Yeah, look at that. So I don't know what I did wrong there, but obviously I did something because it got jammed up. So I guess let's open this door and see what we got. Look at that. It bunched up right there. And kept squeezing it, so it just kept bunching up. All right, let's try that again. I'm going to leave the cover and the front pipe off for now. Put this in. You can see how it stops when it hits the trigger. Okay, it's coming out. I'm just going to move it a little bit and then put the pipe in over it. Now that we know that it's coming through, we can press in the release in the back and just pull it through and set it, and then adjust. So that's kind of, that's a better position than it was in, because now it will drop it right at the tip. And maybe with some practice, I could do some more delicate work with it. So there you go, a new Acolox, if that's how you say the name. Automatic feed, whatever you want to call it, self-feeding soldering iron gun, whatever. It works. I like it for the track. I'm looking forward to using it on additional projects. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time on Dagryffyn Hobby.